it. This guy, Martin Emerson, cornerback for Mississippi State, just talking trash. Get him off my field. He's trash. He's a bump. And then all of a sudden, he comes back and he gives up a touchdown. You can't do that. You can't trash talk a cornerback after you have one good play and then give up a touchdown the very next play. You can't do it. Look at this kid's face that's coming up. This is what you call humility, being humble. Oh, my goodness, what happened? You can't do that, Emerson. So let's go, man. You know better than that.
Awesome.
All right, I'm going to go the other way here. Iowa's Amir Smith-Marset scores a big touchdown on the Wisconsin Badgers. Does a flip into the end zone, hurts his ankle. We've seen this before, celebrations that end in injuries. We know what happens. The player usually comes out and says, you know what, I got too excited, I lost my head. But you know what? As Robert Frost once said, the path diverged in the woods, and I took the one less traveled, and that made all the difference. Exactly. Guess what he said after the game? Do I regret the flip? Nope. Would I do it again? Yep. That's right. Carpe diem, everybody. It's your last game in Iowa. You're a senior. Do your thing. Have fun. Congratulations. Robert Frost would be proud. Got Robert Frost in first things first.
It's a great job by you. Terrible job by what I would consider internet vandals. Listen, folks, is there no line anymore? Have we lost in 2020 all sense of decorum? This weekend, I'm minding my own business, doing what I often do on Saturdays, checking my own Wikipedia page, and I see this. Nick Wright. Although his last name is Wright, he is wrong about Josh Allen. I'm like, well, that's unfortunate. I hope someone goes in there and changes it for me. It did get changed to Josh Allen is Nick Wright's daddy. All right, now you're bringing my family involved. But on the right-hand side of the screen, it actually says who my father is, Louis Wright. And then hours later, it was that was changed as well. These are 3 separate Wikipedia edits. Bill's Mafia.
Oh, I love it.
This is, I believe, illegal. And I want you to know I'm contacting my representatives to reach into the Wikipedia chamber to figure out who did this. You'll be hearing from my attorneys. Change it back or there's going to be a problem, Jenna.
So good. It's so good. All right, we did a lot of football. Let's talk some basketball. It has been a tough stretch for Russell Westbrook. He's on his 3rd team in 20 months. He got COVID. He did not play well in the bubble. He's now playing for Washington. The Wizards may or may not ever make the playoffs. So how is Russ doing? Amazing. He loves the Wizards. The Wizards love him. I love how much he loves the Wizards. The guy's been there like 5 minutes. He's got this entire team wrapped around his finger.
He's great.
This is him at practice this week. Listen to what he said, which is just part of 10 minutes of awesomeness from Russ. Listen to this.
All the Europeans can't play soccer? Hey, P. Oh, gosh.
He goes, gosh. How do you not love Russ? Gosh. I am all in on Russell Westbrook this year. Oh gosh, he's absolutely adorable. I recommend you going and watching all of his practice, sound and comments and all of it. It's adorable. It is, for lack of a better word, absolutely adorable. I'm all in on Russ. All right. Speaking of fun, we got to move on. Speaking of fun, it has been anything but fun for the Philadelphia Eagles. Starting a rookie, Jalen Hurts, against a tough Saints team on a 9-game win streak. Doug Peterson said the team needed a spark. Hurts was listening. 167 yards and a touchdown, 106 yards on the ground. As the Philadelphia Eagles pull off the upset, somehow keeping their playoff hopes alive. Here's Jalen Hurts after the big win.
As far as the team, you know, the guys, they just told me to be you. Go out there and be Jay Hurts, and everything else will take care of itself. And I mean, we all had each other's back. That's the beauty about all of this. We had each other's back, going to battle out there against a really good football team, and we have so much. We had so much money we left on the table. So moving forward, we just want to continue to build, learn from our mistakes, and hopefully progress.
Is Jalen your starter next week? And if so, what will the challenge be, you know, now that more tape is out on him?
You know, I'm going to I'm going to enjoy this one. I'm going to go home and relax and be with my family tonight and enjoy this win and get ready for the week.
Another way to answer that.
Answer the question.
Jalen Hurts played very well. We played very well. We wanted a spark. We got us. Any of those are options for Doug Peterson. But can I just tell you how much I love Jalen Hurts? He obviously had his shirt pressed. He sat there perfect. It was his first post-game NFL press conference. I love the whole thing. He loved the whole thing. But Brandon, so here we go. We got Jalen Hurts now. What did you make of his debut? Big win over the Saints yesterday.
Yeah, look, he got the W against the hottest team in the National Football League, and he did it with poise. He did it with a calm demeanor. He did it playing smart. I mean, he was savvy out there. He got it done on the ground. I mean, he really stood out to me. He elevated everybody's game on that field on the Eagles side of the ball yesterday, and also Doug Peterson's game. When's the last time we saw him this creative on the offensive side? So Jalen Hurts, man, this kid is special. You know, everybody said coming into this game that this was going to be a tough game for him. You go back to since week 9, this has been the hottest defense, the #1 defense in almost every single category in football. So Jalen Hurts, great job getting it done against Dennis Allen, phenomenal defensive coordinator, and then also Sean Payton. I was there. I'd say it all the time. No one prepares and put their teams in better position than those two guys. Every week you're going to get a different game plan. You would have to think that, you know, they came in trying to rattle this guy, give him different looks, hit him over and over again to make him make mistakes, and he didn't. They got the W, and Doug Peterson, this is your quarterback moving forward this year.
But I'm totally confused on why Doug Peterson is not out here singing Jalen Hurts' praises. Is he trying to, make sure Carson Wentz's feelings aren't hurt? Are we still talking about people's feelings?
Clearly.
Because the one thing that Carson Wentz had, Nick, was the offensive line. And I was here, but it's the offensive line. So here's the sacks that the offensive line has given up in the last few games. 4, 3, 5, 6, 4, and 0. Guess who the 0 was? Yesterday. Against the Saints. So maybe it's not Carson. Maybe it's not the offensive line's fault. Maybe it's Carson Wentz's fault. And the fact that Doug Peterson won't come out there and give the guy some flowers for beating the #1 team.
Right.
I'm totally confused, Nick. I'm lost.
I think I can explain it to you, and then I'm going to spin this forward, Wilds. The explanation is this.
Okay, good.
The Eagles understand their only move is trading Wentz this summer. And they do not want to be in a position where in order to trade him, forget getting something back, that they have to attach a pick of their own. Like when the Texans traded Brock Osweiler and a second-round pick just to get him off the books. So they are going to try to walk this tightrope of not publicly just disowning Wentz, so the whole league knows. Forget even giving up a potential 6th-round pick. They're going to do anything they can to get him off their books, because Jalen Hurts is obviously the starter for at least the rest of this season and potentially longer than that. Which also does, by the way, bring me, Brandon, to the other quarterback in this game. And I would ask the audience, who I know thinks I'm hard on Taysom Hill. In the game last night, you had a 22-year-old second-round pick making his first career start, and his only NFL tutelage has come from Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz. On the other side of the field, you had a 30-year-old in year 4 who has learned under Drew Brees and Sean Payton. Who more looked like an NFL quarterback? I'm just curious. Because listen, New Orleans, I got a favor to ask you. The Chiefs got you next week. And I don't know how closely people are watching the Chiefs, but they seem incredibly bored. I would at least like them to have to show up somewhat next week against you. So can you do me a favor? Can you start a real quarterback in Jameis so at least there is some level of challenge? Because this Taysom thing, guys, he has 114 pass attempts, and I think it's 17 sacks or turnovers. That ain't gonna cut it, man. Every 7 times he drops back, something terrible happens. Enough with it, Brandon. We saw a guy who might actually be a dual threat quarterback in this league, And then on the other side of the field, we saw a guy cosplaying as a quarterback. Like, can we be done with this experiment now? Can we do it?
Listen, I'm not going to take this personal. This is an attack on Taysom and not me, all right? Taysom played well yesterday. What do you want from? You want to sit here? You want to sit here and make up? You want to sit up here and make up a bogus stat every 7 dropbacks, something bad happens, or a pick or a sack? Like sack? Is that really on him? Is that what we're doing here, Nick? Taysom Hill played well. Look at his stat line: 28 for 38, 291 yards, 2 TDs. What else do you want from him? The interception, was that on him or was that on the pass catcher? Like, come on, man. Come on.
What do I want from him? All right, well, not 2 turnovers and a half dozen sacks. Not 8 incredibly negative, awful plays against a bad defense.
So everything that goes wrong on the offensive side is Taysom's wrong. So everything that goes wrong on the offensive side is Taysom's fault.
No, Taysom's mistakes are Taysom's fault.
We have to move on now. Listen, bottom line is Eagles won that game. They're still, though, looking up at Washington in the NFC East, thanks in large part to the one-man wrecking crew named Chase Young. That's next. First things first.